digital spaces that have a sense of place. I would say Optimism Fractal, I think has a sense of place actually.
And I wanted to say that our breakout room, but the formalities to it, did have, I guess, new information to it that was awesome, right? The hash protocol, I think, really opened our imaginations.
I kind of feel like joining the Optimism Fractal community kind of gave me one of the first perspectives that of having some kind of consistently joining and participating in events kind of community that I feel like there's a lot of value from what the culture is of that community.
So it's been a great way to meet everybody and to get to know everybody and build this friendship that we have online here and build all these things we're doing on Optimism together with Optimism Fractal. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Optimism Fractal. I'm so pleased to be here with Will and Abraham and Jason, Seth, Jacob, and Rosmari. Thanks so much for joining us today. We were just having a nice conversation as we're raising the roof now. That's what we're doing. Here we go. We're having a good time. We were talking about how much we've been enjoying this events and so forth, and we'll miss each other. So really appreciate you all being here. It's been such a wonderful season with you. If anyone wants to say a quick hello or share any quick thoughts, then feel free. We'll also have Optimism stories today at the town hall for anyone who can stick around. And we'll play the respect game where people can share their thoughts too. Great to see you, Jacob. And if anyone wants to jump in, then feel free. Otherwise, I can also jump into this presentation to show people about Optimism Fractal and what we'll do today.
Roll that beautiful OP footage.
All right, there we go. We're rolling the footage. Thank you very much for the sign off or introduction, Will. Welcome everybody to Optimism Fractal. So Optimism Fractal, if you're not familiar, it's a community dedicated to fostering collaboration, awarding public goods creators, and optimizing governance on the superchain. OptimismFractal.com is a place that you can check out to learn more. There's a lot going on, and you can find a lot on the website. The main things we recommend doing when you first get involved is to join events. Check out the events that we host on Thursdays at 17 UTC. Everybody's welcome to join. Great place to meet awesome builders like people at this call and build together and do all sorts of great stuff together, learn together, so forth, and earn respect too, because we play the respect game, an on-chain social game each week too that everybody's welcome to play, where you can share what you're doing to help Optimism, introduce yourself, and then earn respect by forming consensus. And that mystical soulbound token has lots of cool utilities and so forth that you can learn about too. And you can learn about it by watching the videos. We produce videos as people might be watching right now. You can check out optimismfractal.com/videos by clicking the top right corner, or the YouTube channel where you can play a part and you can share your work. And we're building with respect to, you can see the tools that we're building that enables anybody to play the respect game and make decisions with this new form of respect and so forth. It's a great place to develop your on-chain career and business. We're building in public. We have a Notion site where you can get more involved with Optimism Fractal and the superchain. And there's lots of funding opportunities for builders as well, public goods creators with the Optimism Collective and the superchain too. So you can find more links to all of these, as well as how we are trailblazing the future of governance too, and how we've been working on this for a while with fractal democracy, and how you can get involved with community governance in the council and at the town hall after the respect game. So you can learn more about where Optimism Fractal comes from at the bottom of the page, and also our collaborations with the superchain, Optimism, Base, and so forth, Eden Fractal Optimistics. And once again, join our events on Thursdays at 17 UTC. Although this will be the last event of the season, so I'll briefly share a bit about that. But yeah, today is the last time that we'll meet for season 3. We'll be meeting again on August 15th. So taking a 2-week summer break, during which we hope that everyone has a wonderful time. I might still host an office hour or something like that for anybody who wants to talk about Optimism Fractal and so forth. But yeah, we'll be returning on August 15th. You can find more on Lou.Monsters Optimistics and invite friends. We're really excited to make season 4 amazing. Season 3 has been wonderful. So today at the season, we're going to play the respect game. Today at the event, we're going to play the respect game, and then we're going to talk about Optimism stories at the town hall too. So you can see this tweet from Optimistics to learn more, and wonderful artwork where people celebrating. Thanks, Rosmari, for making this and interacting the Optimism Fractal Warpcast channel too on Farcaster too at /Optimism Fractal, and check out all the videos too. As I said, you can see all the great stuff we've been doing this season, like preparing for the next season and helping the super chain and talking about Optimism season 6 and on-chain summer. All sorts of great stuff going on that you can watch all the videos we've done for the first 3 seasons, as well as on the Eden Creation YouTube channel. So you can follow the progress on the Optimism Governance Forum. We have posts about all of the events that we've done so far and more details, as you know. And yeah, as I mentioned, after the respect game, we're going to play the Cagendas game, community agendas, where people can vote on topics. And the top voted topic for this week is top voted topic for this week is about optimism stories. So I already shared a little bit about this, but basically each participant who can stick around, who wants to join the Optimism Town Hall after the set game, can share anything about your any thoughts, any stories, experiences about optimism. So it'll be an open discussion, and I'll also express thanks and commemorate the occasion with a beautiful NFT artwork too. So but that's that basically. I think I didn't have this window pull up properly, but yeah, we're gonna play the respect game. I think everybody here is well familiar, but optimistic/respect game can learn. We're going to go into breakout groups, and each person's going to share what they've been doing to help optimism for a few minutes. Then we're going to rank each other's contribution and earn respect, and then we'll come back to the town hall after that. So that's that. Thanks so much, everybody, for being here once again. Thanks, Zaal, for joining. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. And I suppose floor is open if anyone wants to share a quick word, but otherwise I'll open the breakout rooms and hope that everybody has an awesome time in playing the respect game.
How's it going, everyone?
Going good. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's good to be back. Good to finally have some time and pop in, say hi, and be able to share. But someone else can go first. It's good to see Seth in the building as well. What's good, Seth? How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. A bit tired and spacey, so forewarned. Yeah, I'm just chilling.
I feel that. Well, Dan, why don't you start us off with this meeting? I'd love to hear you give us the starting person.
Sure, sounds good. Thanks for the suggestion. I have something on my mind because I just realized so right now me and Rosmari are in the same breakout room. We usually record it. And right now Abraham, Jacob, and Jason and Will are in the other breakout room. And I normally have a part on my presentation about how other people can record, but I don't know if I gave them recording permissions or if they want to record it. But I'm wondering, I guess if they don't want to record it, we just don't have to record them. And I'm wondering if I should send them a message and see if anyone wants to record them or anything like that.
I can send a message to Will.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd record it. So
okay,
you just let him know.
Sounds good. Yeah, that would be appreciated because I would love to hear what they're each up to. And maybe if you want to tag each of them in the Optimism Fractal Discord as well, and then you can let them know if they can record in OBS something like that, then that would be great. But otherwise, I could also manually give them recording permissions. But in that case, I'd have to go back to the main community room in order to give them recording permissions. But if you could offer that, Rosmari, then I'd appreciate that.
Okay. Also, I think yes, I will do that.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you very much. Welcome, Cynthia. Thanks for joining. I saw you registered and appreciate it. Looking forward to hearing from you and meeting from you. We just are about to start playing the respect game, and we just went into our breakout rooms. Not sure how familiar you are with the Optimism Fractal respect game, but I hope you'll enjoy it. And if you'd like to say hello or introduce yourself briefly, then feel free to do so, and we'll each get the chance to also share what we're doing in the respect game too. Hey, nice to see you.
Hi, hi everyone. My name is Cynthia. I'm from Peru. I just finished the crypto and blockchain course at Criptoversidad with Diego Mares. I don't know if you know him. So we are currently organizing a group from various Latin American countries to continue learning and to form an optimism community to support and spread the philosophy in Latam. So I I have joined this meeting to learn more about the community and its governance. So I would like to participate as a guest for now, maybe, and just listen for now to learn how it works. And so that's me.
Okay, well, sounds good. Welcome. Thanks for the introduction. Sounds really cool. I am familiar with Diego's work. I've watched some of the videos he's created, and I've seen him posting on the governance forum. So warm welcome, and I've heard great things about Diversidad. And yeah, you're very welcome to listen in. If you do get inspired too, basically the way it works is we're playing something we call a respect game, where each person Takes about 4 minutes to share what they've been doing to help Optimism, as well as generally introducing yourself in more detail if you want. And then we play a game where we rank each other's contributions and so forth. So it's pretty simple. You just get to speak a bit more if you want to and share what you've been doing to help. But if you prefer to just listen in, then that's all welcome as well. And I guess we're a little bit disorganized because this is one of the first times that this happened where me and Rosmari happen to be. It usually just the chances that we're in the same 2 different breakout rooms. So I guess we'll just go ahead and start with Zaal suggestion that he suggests I can go first. So I can do that. Seth, if you'd like to go first instead, then feel free to do so. Okay. And I think Rosmari is taking care of the messaging to the other group. So I'll go ahead first and share what I've been doing to help Optimism this week. Okay, share my screen now. I appreciate everyone's patience as well while we were figuring out the best way to deal with the video recording. We thought about a lot about how to make sure each room can get recorded, but we're still working on the process for that. And there's supposed to be a slide in there that encouraged people to record, but I forgot to show that one this week. So here's what I did for this week. I'm going to take about 4 minutes to share what I've been doing to help Optimism. So as I said before at the beginning, I made this topic proposal about Optimism stories for the town hall. I just kind of wrote that out and thought about how it could work. And then I also put out a tweet here. I also provided a bit of feedback on the picture and the message that Rosmari put out to promote the Optimism Fractal Season 3. So helped out with that, and then just sharing on Warpcast and X to spread the word and raise awareness. A lot of this week, I also spent researching the procedures of the Optimism Grants Council as well. Over the past few weeks, I made 3 mission requests that got approved. I made 4 mission requests, but 3 got sponsored and have funding for the collective. And now I'm planning to make missions. I tried to do it by today, but I didn't do it because today was the first cycle due date. So I'm going to be trying to make more of these proposals, but I basically just read a lot of these information about how it works and the new changes for this season, and started writing some applications. I started working on some Notion projects to first off apply for missions in Optimism Season 6. And so there's a bunch of tasks here that I've been exploring, also coordinating with different people like developers on the Optimistics team, and Abraham's been building tools with the Optimism Fractal. So coordinating for people who might be interested in building with Optimism Fractal to find out ways to help facilitate funding opportunities for builders in Optimism Fractal. And we're also experimenting like kind of growth experiment grants too for like participation rewards and stuff like that based on the respect game. So doing that with one called On-Chain Social Games that I created that I created recently. And then I'm also working on another mission request for videos as we create videos of these events, and Respect Game can greatly help inspire people to, or can greatly help facilitate video creation. We talked about that a little bit last week. Working on missions to help fund more video editing and more promotion of videos and so forth to further promote builders in the Optimism Collective. And also these mission requests can be used for others as well. Spend some time responding to Abraham and some other people about mission proposals and communicating this, and then also thinking about another one for applying for an educational programs mission as well, which I'd also propose as a mission request, but just making a bunch of notes and so forth about how to best apply for this, and with the intention to do education about both optimism, collective governance, and Optimism Fractal and the Respect Game. I participated in the Optimism Foundation Grants Council office hours and the Builders office hours hosted by the team. I reached out to Maxwell, who hosts this meeting afterwards, and followed up about Optimism Fractal and some potential collaborations between Optimism Fractal and the foundation and the collective. So that was a great call, and appreciated speaking with everybody there, and then listened into the Grants Council office hours. I misspelled that there. And then I also had prepared some notes for that too. And then I think, that's why I had this up. I updated the page a little bit, just rewrote the part about Optimum Town Hall to make it a bit smoother and more refined. And a lot of the stuff is kind of work in progress as we write it, but just try to figure out better ways to explain it, because there's kind of written in a bit of a rush when we first started a few months ago, and refined the Cagendas article too. And then I met with Will had invited me to the Let's Grow community call with the founders of Let's Grow. And whoops, I don't know what I just did there. Okay, there's 2 of them now. Yeah, so Let's Grow is a community that's creating a lot of great media and helping create a more regenerative society. And so I joined their call with, I think there's like 9 founders or something. And then we spoke about Cagendas because they're interested in implementing Cagendas, maybe the respect game, but I was in contact with some of them. I'd also followed up with a few people who had reached out from after speaking at these different calls, interested in the different respect games and Cagendas and so forth. And I hosted and I created an event for an office hours event, being that we're going on summer break. I started this event as a way to just have like a kind of an open informal discussion for anybody who wants to discuss things without having to make like a full video about it and all the stuff that we do there. There's also another community that does respect games and fractals called Upscale that is in another ecosystem, and they've been interested in building EVM tools and contributing more to Optimism. So I've been speaking with several members of their community who have been reaching out to me asking for how we can best collaborate. So I have lots of notes and stuff like that where I'm getting back to them. And then I watch Rosmari's breakout rooms too. Rosemary's been posting her breakout rooms on the YouTube channel recently, so I've been watching and seeing what everybody's been up to in the different breakout rooms. And as we said, we're working on figuring out ways that we can help the other people record in the other breakout room too. So that kind of explains that. My apologies, I went a bit longer than 4 minutes, but that's the end of my presentation. And if anybody would like to go next, then feel free to volunteer and go ahead. Or if not, I can nominate, but it looks like Zaal is ready to go.
Yeah, I can go next for sure.
Cool.
What's up, everyone? I've been out of the Optimism Fractal loop for the last couple of weeks, just been kind of moving up to Maine, kind of finalizing everything on my end. And I recently have just been trying to get our Zaal Fractal meetings off the ground. So we have weekly meetings. We've now shifted to a nightly Monday night meeting every night at 9 p.m. So I've been really focusing in on just getting our community to kind of show up to that, as well as working on officially getting our token on chain. I've been working on that. So currently I'm keeping track of all of the respect tokens off chain. So my goal over the next week or 2 weeks, I guess, of the summer break is to get that finalized and airdrop those tokens to our community. So that's one of the big things I'm trying to work on in fractal governance. The second big thing we're working on is Wave Warz. We have a Wave Warz event this weekend. So we've been having super votes, $1 super votes for all of the artists. So this is our 7th event. We've been using base recently to try and utilize base and get hopefully some more people buying some super votes. So we have a new event with JetXO and Profit this weekend, and should be a lot of fun. It's one of our first sponsored events. So yeah, we should have a blast. And I've been really working to try and get some more of these NFTs sold and utilizing the data aggregation part of having NFT wallets. Let me see. Oh, there we go. But yeah, no, honestly, it's been a lot of just focusing in on how we can utilize the Zaal fractal structure to get people to be more involved in the voting process of what we're doing. So a real big focus on getting these weekly meetings squared away and having a good flow so that people know at 9 o'clock it starts, but at 9:10, if you're not kind of in there by then, you can't participate, because we've definitely had some challenges with people just kind of showing up 30 minutes in and then not kind of knowing what other people have done, and it not being conducive to the environment. So I definitely think that being able to kind of split people up and have that like real hard time that if you're not here, you're kind of spectating after that is kind of our next big hurdle to get through. But yeah, that's kind of a little bit about what I've been doing. I guess I will call on Seth to go next if that's all, if no one has any questions.
Thanks, Zaal. That's super interesting, actually. I'm glad that I showed up to hear that today. Yeah, so I've been working on cred, which is what I'm calling a little research project I got a Gitoin grant for, that is looking at applying SourceCred, which is a decentralized reputation protocol, to place, so physical places or potentially digital spaces that have a sense of place. I would say Optimism Fractal, I think has a sense of place actually. Um, and yeah, I've been writing about how to use tokens to gate access to work, and so like looking at how optimism grants work, where you have to do previous grants to get access to more opportunities, and also mentioning Optimism Fractal's Cagendas as an interesting way to distribute attention. Uh, I think that that's like actually like a really fascinating use case. And yeah, I've also just kind of started thinking about like playing around with some of the Optimism Fractal respect token data, maybe just running it through SourceCred and see if it makes any sense at all. Um, so if anyone wants to chat about that, I'm happy to. Um, yeah, that's about it.
Thanks, Seth. That's awesome. See you guys put it to heart. Also, thanks all for the great presentation. And yeah, you still have another 2.5 minutes. So if there's any other details you wanted to share, I think it's fascinating. So if you want, we could use those 2 minutes to talk more about that, as you said. But I'd be interested if you want to elaborate on how you could see that working. Like you said, kind of like using the respect token data with SourceCred. Yeah, I'd appreciate it. I have a decent understanding of SourceCred, and actually, I started making a project about SourceCred after hearing from you, and I did a lot of research and stuff. And so at some point I could share that with you, and maybe that could be helpful as some resource. I've been reading some of your posts on the governance forum, but yeah, if you wanted to provide more detail on anything that you've been up to, or more detail specifically about that and how you think SourceCred and Optimism Fractal respect could synergize, that would be cool to hear.
Oh my God. Yeah, I would totally love to, to like hear your thoughts and see anything that you've written. Uh yeah, I like I've only stressed the surface in thinking about how that could work. But I think that you could just look at meeting data, respect tokens, and generate like fairly good, basically reputation scores. And I've been thinking about ways to basically refine that. Just because like in SourceCred and other communities, we've seen that like just attendance alone doesn't capture a lot and can like reward some behavior that's not super pro-social. So I have some ideas around that. But I'm very curious to see what you've come up with.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, thanks for explaining more details. I've mostly been like learning stage about the SourceCred, and so I have a project that I can share with you. Mostly it's just been me just like collecting links so far, and just kind of I haven't had a chance to write down how I can see it working together and totally, but I just see like a lot of potential benefit for Optimism Fractal to work with SourceCred. I titled it, I don't know if this is a good title. I titled it "Explore and Consider Integrating with Intersubjective Pluralistic Measurement Systems." I don't know where I saw that. And it says such as SourceCred, also PlaceCred, Praise, and Armitage, which are some that I researched. So I know SourceCred's like involved with Armitage. I think somebody messaged me from Armitage, and so I'll share the link with you, and then if you want to check it out, and then at some point we can dive deeper into it as well. And if there's anything else you wanted to add here, I think you saw a minute left as well. So very welcome to.
Yeah, that's super awesome. Yeah, I don't know like what else to add, but that yeah, I'm looking forward to just like looking through what you've collected, and yeah, you're inspiring me to work a little bit exploring some ideas here.
Okay, well, very cool. You're inspiring me too. So thanks so much, and looking forward to hearing your thoughts. If you want to reach out and message me about anything you see there, or talk about it more in the future, then I'd love to hear your thoughts. And then yeah, some of those there's like some to-dos I see, which is like I wanted to watch your old presentations about that you shared Optimism Fractal about it and curate some stuff. So it's early work in progress, but hopefully it'll be helpful for you. And I'm looking forward to exploring it further and collaborating with you.
Awesome.
Okay, very cool. If there's anything else, Seth, I think you're good. But anything else, feel free to add. Or if you want to, I guess Rosmari is going next. Cynthia, if you got inspired to share a little more, or if you had any questions about how it works in general, then feel free to ask, but I hope you've been enjoying listening in, and you're welcome to share a bit and play the respect game if you want. I encourage you to do so. It's fun, and we'd love to hear more from you. But also, if you want to just listen in or wait till after Rosmari goes, then that works too. And I suppose either Seth can nominate somebody to go, or anybody can volunteer.
I can go first.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. And also, everyone's welcome to share their screen as a reminder. And
yeah, that was something I
I'll
forgot
start
to remind people
now.
about too.
Yeah. So, this past week, I generally am working on the marketing, or I contribute with marketing efforts to spread the word about Optimism Fractal and the community and the amazing work we're doing here. So I edited the video from last week, which is Optimism Fractal 35, and it's soon to be posted. The Optimism Fractal 34 event from 2 weeks ago is now up, and you can find all the videos from previous meetings in Eden Creators YouTube channel. So I invite everyone to subscribe there if you haven't already. I worked alongside Dan to craft this promotional message to invite people to this week's event for Optimism Fractal Season 3 finale today, and also the Optimism Town Hall event happening in 30 minutes from now, where we'll play the Optimism Stories game or kind of celebration, where we'll share stories about optimism. And as part of that, I created this thumbnail image with feedback from Dan, and also created, actually Dan created originally this image, but I added a couple of things here and there to represent the Optimism Stories celebration efforts that we'll do in 30 minutes or so. So this is part of a tweet thread that also leads to this other tweet about the town hall specifically, and it's something that we're started to experiment to separate the promotions for the town hall and the Optimism Fractal, which we'll do more of in the upcoming season. I also did spread out the same message in Farcaster in multiple channels like Optimism Fractal, P-Stack, Optimism Base, and Base Builds. You can also find them, and I suggest you to, if you haven't already, to follow Optimism Fractal's group there. Also, I reached out, I think a month ago, as I was browsing in Farcaster, I reached out to Natalie, who's working on the UX research at Base and Coinbase, and I reached out and saying that Optimism Fractal is a great place to meet builders, and actually she just responded to me. So I'm looking forward to following up with her and kind of make a connection there. Also, I posted the promotional image in the Optimism discourse in the Optimism Fractal Season 3 thread, where you can also find all the previous events and kind of updates on what's been happening for the whole season. And did the same thing in the Optimism Discord and Optimism Fractal Discord, as well as Base Discord, where I promoted the event there. Also, as there was a recommendation when I posted in the general channel in Base that I follow up with and open a ticket in the general support channel, where actually here they referred me to a form that I can contact I can come in contact with the marketing team on Base and kind of spread out the message further about the events that we're hosting. So I'm looking forward to following up on that too. I watched the recording from the Token House call where Jin Young was there, and also Carol was presenting some findings from RetroPGF, and also joined the Let's Grow core team call just to support Dan, where he presented the Cagendas, which actually Seth just brought up as as an agenda game to set up kind of discussion points in a decentralized manner. And you can find out more information about this at optimistic.io/Cagendas too. And yeah, it's great to see Cagendas getting some traction, and yeah, excited about what's to come. So Cynthia, I know you also said that you're coming here to mostly listen. I don't know if Dan went into the details about what we do here with the Respect game. The Respect game is where everyone can share what they've been doing this past week. It's mostly focused on optimism, but you can also share in general. You can introduce yourself and also share what you've been up to or what your desires are in relation to optimism. The main idea here is to meet people and spread out the message on what you're working on, and we can collaborate that way too. So you're welcome to just share a bit more about yourself and just have fun with it.
Thanks, Rosmari. Well, just like I said, I just finished this course with Diego, and I don't know very much about the optimism right now, but I'm just listening and trying to learn more. So we already formed a group with a few of the discourse mates to learn more about solidity, about optimism, and maybe just explore a few topics of the common interest. So I found this group in the Discord, Optimism Discord, and it seems a very well. It was it got my interest, so I just wanted to know more about, and maybe if it's okay with you, continue learning and try to collaborate.
Yes, sure. So
Yeah.
you can also share if you want. How did it go? The Cryptoversität course. Like, what are the steps? For example, after that, what's your desires, maybe?
Yeah, there's a graduate group, so we have to tonight and tomorrow and every week from now new meetings to continue learning and share experience, and it's maybe a little bit like this, but I don't know, we're just learning, and so that.
That's great. And how did you learn about Optimism Fractal?
In the Notion page, I just found this in Discord. So I was seeing some missions requests, and I found one from video production and sharing about optimism governance. So that's where I found a dance yeah a dance page, and then I get to Notion. So I just um I read about this respect game, so I think it was very cool, so I wanted to know how it works. Yeah, that's what.
Awesome. Well, yeah, thanks so much for reading the post and about the respect game. Really appreciate that. And yeah, really appreciate you coming to share your experience and perspectives here. And you came to an awesome place to learn more and get more involved with optimism too. So hope that you're enjoying the respect game and you'll be inspired to join us more in the future, and we can help you achieve your goals and learn more and grow more and do more cool stuff in optimism. Also, Zaal had written a comment too. I don't know if there's anything else you want to add, Cynthia, feel free. He wrote that he'd love to hear more of why you're interested in blockchain. So if you want to share that or anything else on your mind, then feel free. Also, Rosmari is creating the fractalgram group and Telegram group right now too. So the way that we played the respect game right now is we do it in a Telegram web app. So Cynthia, if you have oh, I see Zaal just shared it. Looks like Zaal created it. And Zaal might have been ahead of Rosmari because now that Zaal is hosting the Zaal Fractal and playing the respect game, he's like the wizard of a fractalgram. He knows all about it. So he beat Rosmari to the punch. But thank you, Zaal, for creating that. So yeah, if everybody can please click that link, that Telegram link that Zaal just shared. It looks like most people already did. And then in a moment after everybody joins, then Zaal will put out a prompt that says, please put your Optimism address as a response there. So Cynthia, I think you probably have an Optimism address. If you could put your Optimism address in response there once Zaal puts in, that'd be appreciated.
Cynthia, do you have Telegram by chance?
Yeah, I have Telegram, but sadly I have not my phone right now, so I just created my account maybe a few days ago. I don't know how to access there. I follow this link,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, that's why I see Telegram, blah blah blah.
Okay,
Here.
well, if you're able to log in quickly with the account you created a couple days ago, then that would be great. If not, it's okay too. We can also make it work without it. There's a couple of developers in the community who are working on building an all-in-one app where you don't have to use Telegram. So hopefully that'll come in the next couple months. But in the meantime, we can make do. If you're able to log with Telegram, that's great. But if not, we can just figure it out. If you have an Optimism address, then we can enter that manually.
Okay. Yeah, there's a button, a join group button, but I can access.
So did you say that you have your phone with you where you have Telegram? Or
Sorry?
you don't? Did you say that you have Telegram installed on your phone?
Yeah,
But
I have
don't,
my phone right now.
you have it?
No, I don't have my
Oh,
phone right
okay.
now. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. I think we can have it.
Oh,
We can. Sorry, what?
no problem, guys. Just continue, and I will follow from now. And next time maybe I will participate. Don't worry. It's great.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thank you, Cynthia. I appreciate your patience and everything you shared. I don't know if you wanted to answer Zal's question about how you got in blockchain. Also, we could just get into the game too and then come back to that question as well, because it looks like everybody else has submitted their results. Except actually, we're waiting for Rosmari. So feel free, Cynthia, if you did want to answer that question. Would be I'd be curious to hear what you're interested in blockchain too, but could also save it for later if you'd like.
Why I'm interested in blockchain? Well, that's a great technology. It's I don't know. It's a very useful and innovative way to make things, and it's just not about technology. It's about maybe a new society, a new way to do things. That's I find it's very interesting and very useful to a new society ways. I don't know, maybe it will help not just like I said, money and technology, just uh, many other uh, needs, many other world needs. Yeah, that's why I'm and I like the optimism, the philosophy. Yep, that's why I'm here.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but maybe my English is not very well right now, but I hope it will improve quickly.
No, it's good. It sounds great. Totally understood, and we're fully aligned too. And that's what we're aiming for at Optimism Fractal too, in many ways. So thanks so much for sharing. And looking forward to hearing more. We do have to come to consensus in the next 15 minutes. So I suppose we probably should get to the respect game as well. And I suppose one last thing I want to add. Well, so for one thing, I think that Zaal pinned the question, who should be ranked level 6? So what we're going to do now, Cynthia, is, or for anybody watching, we're going to be ranking who we think helped Optimism the most in the past week. And so everybody can rank that now. And then also, Cynthia, if you do have an Optimism address, if you could maybe drop that in the Zoom chat, then we could make sure you get some respect, and we could still vote for you as well if you want to share your Optimism address in the Zoom chat.
I could add her as an option also. Should I have done that?
What was that, all?
I could add like manually after clicking it as well if we want to for the next one.
I think that'd work. There's a little chance that it could get finicky and it could make it mess up. I don't know if it would make it mess up, but I suppose it's probably a good idea to do that. But up to you if you want to do it, Zaal. But first, we would need Cynthia. Do you have an Optimism address?
I do not really know. I have signed up to the page, to the gov.optimism.io. So
Okay.
I don't know if this is my name in Optimism. If what's what you
Yeah,
need?
so that is different. That is the governance form profile, but
Okay.
the Optimism basically having a EVM address, which is a public key. It usually looks like 0x5194A, something like that. Sometimes people have like Cynthia.eth or something like that. I just shared a link to optimismfractal.com/accounts where you can make an account using either Coinbase Smart Wallet or using MetaMask. The Coinbase Smart Wallet, I recommend it makes it really easy to do it. So there's instructions there. So you can make an account whenever you can. It should only take like maybe 5-10, like maybe a minute or two if it all goes well with the Coinbase Smart Wallet. So if you want to try making that now, there's some instructions there. You can follow them and try to make it. If not, no pressure. You can always make it another time, and this guide will be here. And many people in Optimism Collective can help you set up an account, because having an actual Optimism account helps you interact with on-chain social games like Reset Game and many other abilities, and play with many other apps on Optimism. So definitely a good thing to have.
Yeah, thank you. I will create it, but I don't think I will do it right now. But I just gonna save this link to create it later. Thank you.
Yes, actually, just to provide some more context, the reason for that is because right now we set up fractalgram, which runs on Telegram. It's the fractalgram is a place where we can now vote to reach consensus on who do we think did the most this past week to help Optimism, based on what we just shared as how we all went presenting what we did. And then that's where we do the ranking, where we can click who we think for each level, starting from level 6 as the highest level, then going to level 5, 4, 3, 2, and so forth, who we think did the most. And we have to reach consensus, so majority of us to be in agreement that a certain person did, let's say, the highest. And then why we're asking for address is because then we push it on chain. The results from that game, there's peg game that happens every week. We push these results on chain on the Optimism mainnet. And that's why and that's why the account is needed, the address, I mean. And then as a follow-up to that, each address based on the level of what they got ranked or how they got ranked, and gets respect tokens, which is a soul bound token. And these respect tokens then have the purpose can be used to vote on topics in upcoming events and so forth, and also build a reputation for each participant in the long run, because these events happen weekly. So that's sort of the long tail, or the tail of the respect game, just to provide more context on why we asked for the address and so forth.
Thank you, Rosmari. Well said. And with that, I think we should get back to the game. And we haven't yet had a vote from you yet, Rosmari. So we're waiting on that. And then I think the other breakout room is just about ready to go back whenever we want to. So if we can wrap it up a few minutes before the top of the hour, then that would be good too. I see Cynthia wrote, great, thank you. That the explanation with a heart, very nice. Oh yeah, hopefully that was all that was helpful, Cynthia. Glad to hear. And happy to help people enjoy all the benefits of optimism. Excited for all the cool things that you'll discover. Okay, most welcome.
So right now the votes are 1 vote for Dan. I can also share my screen. So Cynthia, if you want, you can check in real time what is happening here, if it would be of interest. Yes? Okay.
Sure.
Right. So the fractalgram, as I mentioned, is runs on.
Just by the way, Rosmari, we don't need to go into a full overview here. If you want to just do
Okay.
it quickly, because we really have to come to consensus and get back to the other room.
Okay.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but we do have some videos explaining a bit more. Feel free to go ahead and say what you said, but I just want to make sure we're timely.
It's okay. So this is the poll for level 6, and now Dan, you can take it from there.
Okay, thanks, Rosmari. Yeah, so we have to come to 3 out of 4 consensus, basically, or 2/3 consensus. So now we don't have that yet. We have 2 votes for Seth, 1 vote for me, and 1 vote for Zaal. So if anyone would like to advocate either way or change their vote, share why you think who deserves the most respect, then feel free to do so. I can share if nobody wants to. I voted for Seth. So Seth voted for me. Me and Zaal voted for Seth, and Zaal voted for Rosmari. Or I always get confused with how it's shown sometimes. But anyway, yeah, I voted for Seth. I appreciate the way he's been following Optimism Fractal and supporting it here and there in some messages and thinking about how to integrate with SourceCred. I think that could be a super helpful integration. So I appreciate that he's developing these things on Optimism in general, and helping to improve impact evaluation and reputation scores and stuff like that for Optimism, and specifically thinking about the best ways to integrate and expressing a lot of interest with respect and Optimism Fractal. I think that's a really helpful thing for Optimism. So that's why I voted for Seth.
I also voted for Seth for similar reasons, and I'm super glad he showed up today.
Likewise, Seth, if you want to change your vote, then you could, or if either you or Rosmi wanted to advocate for either something different, then feel free. But it looks like somebody switched their vote to Seth, so Seth has consensus.
Thank you, y'all. Hopefully I will have more real work than imagined work to get respect for. Appreciate the signal.
Okay, well, sounds good. Looking forward to it. And you gotta imagine it first to do it. So you're on the way. Okay, I think Zal's gonna put out the level 5 poll now, whenever you're ready, Zal. And we can see who did the second most optimism. Okay, and it looks like we once again don't have consensus. I have 2 votes, Rosmari has 1 vote, and Zaal has 1 vote. Would anybody like to share their rationale or change the vote?
Dan, I think you do a lot for Optimism and Fractal, and that's why I voted for you.
Thanks all. Much appreciated. I suppose in the interest of time, I could switch my vote to myself to reach consensus. I voted for Rosmari. I thought about voting for Rosmari or Zaal because you're also doing a huge amount for Optimism. Zaal, I appreciate you starting the Zaal Fractal and all your posts and all your engagement helping musicians so much. And also really appreciate all the wonderful promotions that Rosemary's been doing and lots of strategies she's been helping out with me a lot too. A lot of stuff that I do. Rosemary helps for a lot of feedback. So I voted for Rosemary, but happy to go either way. And I suppose I could switch to myself to reach consensus as well.
Feel totally torn between everybody and could be swayed if someone had another direction they wanted to go.
If we want to switch a couple to Rosemary, we could also do that because I also think Rosemary's done a lot for Optimism Fractal. So.
I'll choose for them.
Okay, looks like somebody switched to you though, Rosemary. Now you have 50% of the vote. Now Zal voted for you. So I'm happy to go either way. If Seth, you want to change over to Rosemary want to change, then I'd be honored if Rosemary gets a higher rank, or I probably do it either way too.
How do I change my vote?
And we're all winners, by the way. You can right click and hit retract vote. Yep. Okay, and it looks like Rosemary got level 5.
Oh. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, now votes are open for level 4.
We got consensus on you.
Okay. Sounds good. Thanks all. Much respect to all. And
respect.
Also Cynthia.
What group number are we on?
This is
2.
Group number 1, 2. Yeah,
2.
That's right. That's right. We should probably head back to the community room shortly, but Zal, if you could please put up the post where we can submit results. If everybody can please submit results within the next hour, that would be much appreciated. Cynthia, if you are able to get your account set up in the next couple of days, if you want to send a message to the Optimism Fractal group or us, then you can let us know and we could perhaps make a proposal for you to get respect for this event too. But I don't know, maybe if you want to just join again in the future, then be ready with the account next time. Then we'd love to give you respect on chain too, and hope that you have hope that it goes well with setting up the account, and really appreciate you joining, and hope you had a wonderful respect game. We'll head back into the community room and we'll get started with the town hall, but we can also just have some open discussions a little bit before we get started with the town hall too, back in the community room if you want, and Rose, we just share the Discord group as well. So thanks all for the wonderful respect game. And I see a nice message here. Do you want to say that out loud, Cynthia?
Oh no, just thank you everyone. Yeah, I will create maybe tonight my account, so I share it with you. And yeah, if you don't matter, I would like to continue participating maybe next week. So I will found something to do. So I told you more about next time.
Okay, sounds excellent. Well, thanks so much. Thanks also for the very kind message too. We are going to continue in the community room right now, so we'll stick around on the call for about a half hour longer. You're very welcome to join. We do next week. We're on summer break, but we're returning on August 15th for the event as well. So I suppose I'll close out this breakout room and then we can go help, because I've been kind of messaging with Abraham, who's having a little bit of difficulty with the game too, doing the fractalgram. So we'll go back to the community room and we can talk more there as well. Hey, welcome back, everybody.
Hey, the room was going to close anyways.
Yes. I hope that I know that you were trying to get fractalgram. Apologies about that. I also want to say
Abraham,
yeah, we're at the top of the hour right now, and Abraham, he messaged me saying that he couldn't quite get fractalgram to work, and he has another meeting starting. So we can maybe troubleshoot that a bit now if it would be helpful, or we could do it afterwards. But yeah, if anybody else needs to go, top of the hour. Appreciate you all joining for the respect game. We're gonna talk for another half hour or so, probably, for the Optimism Town Hall. So everybody's welcome to stick around, but if anybody has to go, then feel free. And we could jump right into Town Hall, but maybe it'd also be helpful to maybe reflect a little bit on the respect game a little bit. We had a bit of a new experience today in that a lot of times it just happens with the randomization that me and Rosmari tends to be in the same room. And in this room, we had me, Rosmari, and Zaal, who all knew how to do a fractalgram in our room, but I don't know if anybody knew how to do it. I think Abraham tried in the other breakout room. I don't know if there was a recording that was possible either, too. If there was, then I would love to see it. But we're working on ways to.
There wasn't. There
okay.
wasn't. And that was, we were so deep into the conversation that by the time I saw the message turn on the recording, we were already halfway through it. So.
Okay.
But yeah, I think Abraham has a new appreciation for what you and Rosmari go through on a consistent basis with trying to launch the fractalgram, and what he's building, which was part of his share on the front end, is the evolution of the web app. So yeah, it'll get better in time.
Okay. Yeah, I think he said he's aiming to complete that in the next month or two, which will make it a lot easier. And we also have some projects in Notion and a lot of thought we put into it to figure. Oh, thanks, Jacob. If you wanted to say goodbye, then feel free. But otherwise, thanks so much for joining. I hope you have an awesome day, and hope you have an awesome summer break too.
Bye, guys. Yeah,
Thank you.
Have a good one. Thanks for hosting, everybody. Thanks for showing up.
Thanks so
Take
much.
care.
Thanks so much. See you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it looked like he's ready for summer break. Looks like he's ready to go surf some waves or something. Yeah, but I was going to say we have a couple of projects in Notion, and we talked a lot about ways to scale up Optimism Fractal as we have more than 2 breakout rooms and so forth, to help people learn how to use the fractalgram or whatever app we have, as well as start recording each breakout room too. And I had a presentation slide that I skipped over about encouraging people to record. So my apologies for forgetting that. But yeah, it sounds like you had a good breakout room, and I'm glad to hear that everything went well overall. And I agree, we'll get better over time. Rosmari says she can help troubleshoot after the event, so she can follow up with that with the other breakout room. Yeah, Rosmari, Abraham had messaged me his rankings. I don't know if there's anything else. The rankings he said was Abraham 6, Jacob 5, Will 4, Jason 3. So I guess I suppose we'll trust Abraham on that, unless anybody, if he made a mistake or anything, then let us know. But otherwise, I suppose we'll just make a proposal afterwards.
No, that was correct. That was correct. It was Abraham, Jacob, myself, and then Jason.
Okay, sounds great.
I can make the link with where I input all people's addresses and share it with you guys.
Okay, that would be cool. Yeah, if it's possible for everybody to make the on-chain transaction, that would be good. If everybody can do it while hanging on the town hall, then that would be appreciated. And yeah, if there's anything anyone else wanted to comment on with regards to the respect game, then feel free to do so. To the second breakout room, or the first breakout room, I suppose. I'd like to welcome everybody to Cynthia. Cynthia joined, and she's new to Optimism Fractal and new to Optimism. Pretty new to Optimism anyway. And she gave a great introduction during our respect game. If you want to say hello, Cynthia, or share any feedback on the respect game or anything that you're feeling, then feel free to do so. But you're also, of course, welcome to just listen in if you'd like. And yeah, if anybody else has any other thoughts, then feel free as well. And I can get into the Optimism Town Hall. We'll be starting a bit late, but that's okay. And we have Optimism stories on the agenda today too, for anybody who would like to share a story. We'd love to hear your stories. So I suppose I'll just give it a moment of silence in case anyone wants to jump in and share some thoughts about the respect game or anything else on your mind. And I'm ready to jump into the town hall whenever we're ready as well.
Well, I didn't want to take up too much of the time, but I wanted to say that our breakout room, but the formalities to it did have, I guess, new information to it that was awesome, right? The hash protocol, I think, really opened our imaginations, just as a point of point. So, I guess creating something of like a shared vision is, it's its own process that we work through for it. So it's different, but we're getting better at it. any different. It's different as we go. I want to say that this is one of those rare times when randomness did not work out well. Maybe not so rare. Maybe it's okay.
Right on. Well, thank you, Jason, for giving us the recap of the room and putting some poetry to tie a knot in it, so to speak. Yeah, also great to hear too. I know Jacob's working with Hats Protocol. I know Abraham's also been interested in too. Abraham's working on the Optimism Fractal War Respect Game web app. And I'm sure Will and you had some great things to share too. So I look forward to being another Respect game with y'all when we come back from the break and hearing your updates then. And we'll just imagine how awesome and inspiring it will be, and appreciate the recap. Thanks a lot, Jason. And I suppose with that, we could get going with the Optimism Town Hall. Never you stretching, mid-game stretch. Here we go. Here we go. If anyone wants to get some exercise, feel free.
It's good. Good. You're not supposed to sit for too long.
Stretching feels good.
All right. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's right. It's good to stretch, good to exercise. Helps you feel optimistic. It helps in long meetings too. Sometimes an hour and a half is kind of long. So appreciate everybody being here with us, and feel free to exercise. Feel free to do whatever makes you feel good while we hang out at the town hall. And I suppose I'll get into the presentation now for the Optimism Town Hall. All right, Jason swaying. He's getting into the moves. All right, nice. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Optimism Town Hall. Thanks so much for joining us here. We meet at the Optimism Town Hall on Thursday, 18 UTC. It's a collaborative space for well-organized and welcoming and impactful discussions about optimism and the superchain. And we play on-chain social games where community members can vote and propose and choose topics together on-chain. And everybody's welcome to join. Basically, you're welcome to invite friends and so forth. The on-chain social game we play is called Cagendas, and you can learn more about the links here, or you can learn more about the town hall in the links on lu.mosh/optimism town hall. People can earn a soulbound token called Respect to Optimism Fractal, and we just had this event, the Optimism Fractal event. So I'll provide a little overview of where we're at with the town hall and what we're going to discuss today. You can find more links about how to propose topics and so forth, and we welcome you to join. So you can find the lu.mosh optimistics, where we have both the events, Optimism Fractal and Optimism Town Hall. They happen every Thursday, although we will be on a 2-week break for summer break and returning on August 15th. So you can register for both of these when you come back, when we come back, and we hope to see you there. Optimism Fractal community is a community dedicated to fostering collaboration, awarding public goods creators, and optimizing governance and superchain, where we earn respect with something called a respect game that's then used to vote on topics at the Optimism Town Hall events. And you can see currently the videos for season 3 of Optimism Fractal, which is just ending now. They're produced, the Optimism Town Hall videos are produced at the end, that last half hour of Optimism Fractal videos. We have some exciting plans for next season, but for now, that's where you can find the videos. You can see where we discuss Optimism season 6 and the new season coming up for Optimism Fractal and Town Hall, helping the superchain, on-chain summer, all sorts of great stuff we've been discussing and experimenting with these new ways to vote on topics too and so forth. And people can engage and see the most recent posts on Warpcast and the governance forum, where we make posts. People can see the proposal that was approved to start the 4th season on August 15th in the governance forum too. We have a thread for Optimism Fractal season 3, and you can watch videos to learn more about seasonal structure and so forth. But yeah, basically, now everybody's welcome to join. And oh yeah, what I wanted to say is Cagendas is a community agendas game, which I briefly introduced. But basically, the way it works is that anybody can propose topics in the Optimism Fractal snapshot space, and then vote out with respect on the polls. And then whichever topic has the most votes on Monday at 17 UTC will be a topic that we discussed during this week's event after Respect Game. There's also lots of development going on here too. So we're working on different ways that the Optimism Collective can get involved with voting and different game modes and stuff like that. So you can see this article, optimistics.io/cagendas, to learn more. And it's also just an open community forum. So we're experimenting with these topic proposal games and so forth each week. But feel free, if you just have anything on your mind that you want to share, feel free to raise your hand or unmute or share something in the chat as well. And it's a platform for everybody to share your thoughts. So I'd love to hear everybody's thoughts here about optimism stories. And that's the topic for today. So as I said, everybody can propose topics on the snapshot space. And the topic that was proposed for this week is to celebrate the end of Optimism Fractal's third season and prepare for the next season. I propose that we share stories about optimism during the town hall. So each participant will have the opportunity to share a story about optimism. The story can be about your past experiences, hopes for the future, or anything else related to optimism and the super chain. So feel free to share thoughts about Optimism Fractal, where many people here just participated in the Optimism Collective and or other communities on the super chain. And to commemorate the occasion and express thanks for the amazing season, I'm also going to give a special NFT mint for everybody who shares a story. So I'm looking forward to hearing everybody's thoughts. Also shout out to Rosmari, who made some beautiful art here as well. And this just has a little sloppiness. I don't know what happened here, but yeah, basically you can see what's going on there. And you can see we also have some tweets about this too. But yeah, basically that's that. So now it's kind of open discussion. So if any of you would like to go first and share your stories about optimism, the Optimism Collective, Optimism Fractal, Superchain, hopes, experiences, anything like that, then feel free, open floor. We have a half hour allocated in total for this event, and we got started late, so we're already 12 minutes into the event. So we only have 18 minutes left on schedule. Previously, we've gone overtime sometimes in Optimism Town Hall, so we could do that if we want, but just to make sure we have time for everybody to speak, I don't know if we should set like a timer or something like that. Sometimes we do, but we could also just play by ear. I see Will's unmuted, so I suppose floor is open if anybody has any suggestions about the best way to organize, or anyone wants to go first and share their story about optimism, then floor is open.
I guess you volunteered me, so I'll go first. I'll share a story. This is a story of a rewards program that is no longer available, but it led to creative thinking and innovation to formulate a rewards program that was on the roadmap, and it allowed it to naturally occur and manifest itself. So this is a specific story to KFMedia and Kingfisher's Corner, which is our social audio brand. So there was at one point in time a really good data set that we were using called Superspaces AI or Superspaces.ai. I don't know if anybody remembers that platform or not, but it was a way for space hosts who were hosting on X to kind of look at the data sets and see who was engaging with their shows, right, and with their content. So it used to be, so in that process, we developed a rewards program, participation program for people to come to the show, to engage with the show, either through contributing to the conversation or just showing up, consistently, or even emoting, right, during the course of the show. This program we started, launched in October, right after Gitoin Grant season 18. So yeah, we found some value in that, and it was a way for us to reward participants of the show in that way. We'd have a monthly awards show for who was the highest contributor, who was the #1 listener, and who was the top emoter, right? And we deployed all of the contracts against that onto the Optimism blockchain, because that was a way of us continuing and building out our footprint in the Optimism ecosystem. And unfortunately, somewhere around February-ish timeframe, maybe March timeframe, they just kind of slowly disappeared into the night. Superspaces.ai, that is. So we had to discontinue that program. But I will say the upside of that is it allowed us to further develop our current Learn to Earn program, which is Learn for Impact, as you see here on the banner behind me. And that has blossomed very beautifully, and we've gotten some really qualified funding for that to continue that based on our community sizing. So I'm excited to see what the next evolution is, and if someone else comes along and builds a better platform for rewarding people who show up to social audio broadcasts, whether it be on X or on Farcaster through Farhouse, we'll have to wait and see how that is. But yeah, it's a story of how one rewards program had to be sunsetted and then led to another rewards program that I feel through time is going to have a more meaningful impact. And that's my story.
All right. Wonderful story. Thank you, Will. Thank you for all that you're doing for Optimism and sharing the story with us. Much appreciated. If you'd like to nominate somebody to go next, I see lots of hearts up too throughout the speech. So great to hear. If you'd like to nominate
you.
somebody to go next, Will,
Thank
or
you
somebody
so
wants to
much.
volunteer, you're welcome. Thank you.
I will nominate Zaal. I'm gonna pick on Zaal.
All right.
Oh God. I guess I'll go with a quick optimism story. I would say that my biggest interest had always been in some way, shape, or form of creating ways we could vote on chain in a community that was created digitally that could be a fair and helpful initiative, and that I kind of feel like joining the Optimism Fractal community kind of gave me one of the first perspectives that of having some kind of consistently joining and participating in events kind of community that I feel like there's a lot of value from what the culture is of that community to bring to some of the other challenges that we find in crypto communities. So I feel like it adds a lot of equitable distribution of governance, which has a lot of potential for whether it be creating companies or initiatives or communities happening all around the world, and you having people of all these different time zones. So I just have really enjoyed seeing that, and I've wanted to create my own amalgamation of something kind of that governance structure. So I've been working on kind of creating a similar initiative for people in the music space of blockchain. So the music and tech, the people that want to be in music and technology communities essentially, and connecting those two initiatives in a sense, and kind of giving artists an opportunity to meet people that are developers, and developers to do the same to meet different artists. So I think there's lots of room there for using community buy-in to forward issues that there are in the music industry that we could solve with on-chain governance. So that's kind of what I think is really cool about this, and I see there's a huge future here, and I'm excited for season 3. And I think I want to hear a little bit from Jason, if Jason's ready to go.
Thank you all.
I'd be happy to. I think that's something I could bridge from. I think that there's an example of a music festival where participation is actually like part of the setup, the whole stage, and the whole like vendor scenario to it. And that I think that could be an aspect of fandom for music, in that be a fan to use something like a hash protocol, like why pay for the network effect? The network effect of fandom is the value for the performer in some ways. And that's possible for a hash protocol to be like a store of value for a fan that makes the magic happen. That in whatever sense of it, in terms of fandom, in terms of introducing the music forward to new people, or making the live performance something else, right? And that I think that people can pay the ticket prices, or pay the subscription fees, or pay to download, or whatever, right? And if they are the endpoint, if it's a consumer behavior, as a consumer behavior, if you are like a ticket taker at the concert, not so much of a super fan. I think super fandom pays in and isn't necessarily balanced to the point of it being almost a job, almost a gig. It doesn't have to be an income. It doesn't have to be a whole answer for a person, but people live for their fandom, and they pay for it now. Like it's weird how it's an identity stack item psychologically for a person to be a fan of anything. Of anything. You know, like who's your team? Who's your favorite artist? Who's your favorite something? That's how a person relates in so many ways. And it at worst gets exploited, where to maintain the identity stack item of being a fan or a super fan, fans will pay outrageous prices to fit as a fan, right? To how much does it cost to go to a Super Bowl game? Well, you're a football fan, right? You have to live the life. On and on. It goes on and on like that. So I think that there's a balance effect to the entertainment industry, understanding that there's a network effect, there's no power for having people who introduce music, being like your DJ and stuff. House protocol for the win.
Very nice. Is that the end of the speech, Jason?
That's not one of my experiences. It's not one of my stories. I am only sharing top of my thoughts. And yes, it is. I'll leave it at that. And I'll nominate who's ready, who wants to share a story. I'm looking for a visual cue for somebody on the edge of their seat. I know you guys all share all the time. So. Rosmari, we haven't heard from you. I nominate you.
Oh, by the way, one thing I want to say too, thanks so much, Jason, for the great story and all the thought perspectives. So you've been trying to manage time a bit because I realized that we have still 4 people who haven't shared a story yet, and we only have 8 minutes left. So I've been putting the 3-minute timer up. Feel free to go a bit longer if anyone wants as well. But just wanted to just put that out there. If that we probably will go a bit over time from the half hour. If anybody does want to make sure, if anybody has to go at the top of the half hour and wants to make sure that you can speak before you have to go, then feel free to jump in. And then we'll try to be, as always, we'll try to be respectful of his time. And so we'll wrap it up pretty soon after the half hour is the plan, unless everyone wants to stick around a bit longer, then I'm happy to, as well as kind of a end of season celebration. But just want to put that out there in case Seth or Cynthia, in case you have to get going and want to share thoughts beforehand. But otherwise, I suppose as Jason nominated Rosmari to go, I think it's on you, Rosmari.
Okay. Thanks. My story for Optimism. I think it's going great. It's probably the title of it, and it makes me happy that people come here every week and enjoy it and get inspired, make collaborations and also are charged up and also share with their friends and invite people over. Even if they don't show up every week, it's okay because we're still a community. It's not meant to be that people have to join necessarily every week to make it so the attendance is only what it counts. I don't think that's really the only metric. And I think what's happening here is the network effect, which just Jason mentioned, which I think I find very interesting, that really people who come in, they're really at the core of Optimism Fractal and what we do, what's happening, the energy, and every meeting is different in a way. Although it may consist primarily of the same group people, it is different, and we learn so much with every event, and it's in a way like a meditation form, because for example right now I don't have anything written down. I had no idea what I was going to talk about, but it makes me feel comfortable that there's people listening to me, so it's all that matters sometimes. So I am happy that that you're here, and actually I'll give back a minute and see what the next story will be when it happens, because it's nice to zoom out, but and also thank for everyone's participation and contribution this season. And I'm looking forward to what the super chain will be. Yeah. Thank you. Do you want to go next? Dan? Or Cynthia?
Yeah, I see Cynthia just made a message in the chat. Feel free to say that out loud. Cynthia, he said, thank you again, guys. So they have to go right now. But we'll message in the Discord chat. Thanks, Rosmari, for the link. It was very nice to meet you. I'll stay in touch.
Thank you.
Wonderful, Cynthia. Thanks so much for wonderful to meet you too. And looking forward to collaborating. And yeah, feel free to reach out in the Discord. Looking forward to hearing from you more. And glad you enjoyed the event. If you want to say anything before you go, then feel free. But otherwise, just thank you and hope you have a wonderful day. And I see Jason's resting things too. Very, very nice. Also, Seth, if you wanted to go before me, if you wanted to share an Optimism story, I know you've been involved with Optimism for a while and doing lots of great stuff with SourceCred and several other communities and cool initiatives. So feel free to go ahead if you want to go next.
I'll just share like a quick observation or a story, not super related, so I'll keep it brief. But the SourceCred community's been having weekly video meetings, like not related to SourceCred, just emotionally supporting each other for a couple of years now. And just giving feedback and witnessing each other's lives and facilitating it really well. And it's been like weirdly transformative. And so that's one sort of interesting possibility that I'm tracking. And it's cool to hear, Rosmari, you reflect on just like the sort of like dynamics of the meetings and your experience of it. So yeah, I don't know, you're doing rad work. It's awesome.
Thank you, Seth. By the way, what is your shirt? I keep attracting my attention. I'm sorry. That was Rabbit County. Okay, interesting. That looks very cool. I'd be curious to learn more of the context if you want to share that. Although I don't know if that's an Optimism story or just related. I'm sorry, I just kept seeing. I got distracted by it because it looks cool.
I have no idea. I bought it at the thrift store.
Okay.
I need to just make up a story though, because I get asked about it all the time.
Yeah, I thought for a second maybe you were breeding rabbits over there or something like that. But I guess that makes it even cooler that it's just kind of random and cool looking. So
Metaphorically, rabbit breeding all day long here.
there we go. There's some metaphors here.
They're the occupiers of rabbit holes.
Oh, nasty. I
we
like
all
it.
live in the rabbit hole. Well, the network effect is rabbit tunneling. You know, they make a network effect. They actually do. They're elaborate.
I like
You'll
it.
enter the rabbit den from different rabbit hole starting points. What our motivation is. And I get that, man. People who understand the world the most struggle the most. Struggle the most because the fact of the matter is it's really different. It is.
True that.
Good on it.
Yes. Okay. Well, good points all around. Thanks, Seth, for sharing the story. Great to hear. I didn't know that the SourceCred community had that kind of community meeting going on. So I'm glad that's been transformative and helpful. And yeah, I think that what we're doing here at Optimism Fractal Mirror is that pretty similarly in a lot of ways. Like it's been amazing speaking with you and Jason, Rosmari, Will, Zaal, Abraham, everybody else who's been joining. There's been 43 people or 44 people that participated in the respect game in these first 3 seasons, and probably another like 20 people or so have joined the town hall and retro pitch and stuff like that. So it's been awesome, and a lot of people have been just like joining every other week or like pretty often. So it's been a great way to meet everybody and to get to know everybody and build this friendship that we have online here and build all these things we're doing on Optimism together with Optimism Fractal. So that's, I suppose, a segue into my story here. And yeah, hopefully we can help many more communities do that with the respect game too. I think we will. I think the respect game just naturally in the fractal process can help facilitate that. But also glad to hear it's happening all around on Optimism with different communities as is. I have a little presentation that I'll share, but first I'd like to say, before we started recording, there's some really nice messages that people were sharing. Jason, you said it. Will said it too. I think Abraham or somebody else said it too, that basically how much you're kind of like Yeah, I think Will said first how much he'll miss Optimism Fractal, these weekly events, because we're going on the 2-week break. And then Jason, you kind of said something similar, and about how there's always something positive that you get here and you enjoy and you look forward to and stuff like that. It's something along those lines. I may be misremembering slightly, but I really appreciate hearing that, and that warms my heart. And so that's something that I guess I wanted to share a little bit about with my story. How it came for I didn't know about Optimism until about a year ago. I was very loosely familiar with it, but then how we came here and met amazing people on Optimism and people who joined Optimism, really special and really appreciate it very much. And it's been such an honor collaborating with you all and getting to know you all. So thanks everybody so much for joining the events and all the great things you're doing for Optimism and for the world with Optimism too, because I'm a really big believer in the optimistic vision, creating a better future for all, a better society, more equitable internet, rewarding public goods creators, and using technology to do it more effectively, as well as these kinds of person-to-person meetings and getting to know each other. So I want to say thanks for that. That's partially an optimism story, and it's kind of my optimism story too. So maybe I'll go ahead and share the presentation a little bit. I'll try to keep it quick, but appreciate everybody listening. If, of course, anyone needs to go, then feel free to drop out at any point. I know we're a couple minutes past the top of the hour. Or past the top of the half hour. So yeah, I'll go ahead and share a bit more about my optimism stories. I had just some links shared. I see Zaal said, have to head out here. Can't wait to chat soon. Can't wait to chat with you too, Zaal. Feel free to reach out in the Discord. Looking forward to supporting you and seeing everything that you're doing in the Zaal Fractal and everything else. So thanks so much, Zaal. Feel free to jump in. If anybody has anything you want to jump in and say, then feel free. But very much looking forward to you. I'm glad you could make the time today, Zaal, and looking forward to seeing you in season 4 and collaborating with you with all the awesome things we'll do in the future. So yeah, Optimism Fractal, I've been like dedicating my life to this basically for the past, we've been operating events for the past 9 months since last October, and we have been I've been researching it and getting involved with Optimism for the past year or so, and this whole website that came together over the past year. Huge thanks to everybody who's helped build it and contribute to the community in so many different ways. And it's been wonderful getting to know everybody, as well as building this thing that I think will be so helpful for everybody. I've been working on fractal communities for the past like 3 years. I have a blog article, an optimistic site about this, where we talked about this, so I won't go into much detail, but I see immense potential for Optimism Fractal to help improve the world. We've been working on this with a lot of builders for a long time, and the process wasn't being supported in the ecosystem that we were in. There was all sorts of amazing experiences we had, but not until we came to Optimism did it really have a chance to flourish, and it's just starting to flourish in many ways. And I believe that and the next season, the end of the next year, and so forth, we're gonna have so much more to show, which I'm really excited to be on this journey with y'all. There's the Eden Fractal meetings where actually Optimism Fractal started, and we hosted over 100 events there about these games, about fractal decision-making processes and respect games and so forth. But as I said, there's like some difficulties basically in coming to Optimism, basically gave it a home to what we're doing with the respect game, and allowed us to meet with all these amazing people and collaborate with all the builders on chain and so forth. So just as a little overview there, there's some links people can learn more and see all the videos that came up. But then when I started learning about Optimism back last year, kind of like gave me a lot of hope, because I found a place that could support these fractal processes and the respect game, and where I could meet innovators building on chain, doing all sorts of great stuff, building on EVM. So, and with a really amazing vision too, as I said. So I was just super inspired when I heard about it. I started watching all these videos, and started curating some of these videos and learning a lot last year. Came to Optimism. We made a bunch of blog articles too. We made a proposal for the Grants Council, and we had blog articles, and we made like a little series about how we were growing with Optimism, first learning about Optimism back in the early days, and then kind of like summarize our experience and share it with people. And so just to share a little bit of the history, we have like an article that shares how it started from Eden Fractal and where it came from. I don't want to spend too long, but there's places where people can dive into each of these deeper. And we had long discussions at Eden Fractal about starting with Optimism Fractal, and got the chance to meet people in the Grants Council, delegates, builders of all sorts and so forth who have joined. And now looking back on it, we have 34 events or something like that we've recorded and made amazing videos with, and had all these amazing collaborations with everybody. So I just want to, I guess, say that it's been really special so far, these first 3 seasons, and that's my Optimism story, a story of appreciation and a story of optimism for the future, because now we're in a position where we can really grow a lot of things are really in place to grow, and I think create profound benefits for the collective, the super chain, and the world, to create a better society for all, with Optimism Fractal and the respect game, and everybody else is doing amazing work on the super chain. So that's my story. Thanks all for joining these amazing events that we hosted, or these amazing events that everybody's contributed to, I should say, and all the amazing things everybody shared. And thanks for making it so special. And as I said before, we're ending our third season now. So we'll be back on August 15th. Using the consensus process that we created here. Thanks everybody once again to the community. People can learn more about this in this post with the video and so forth, where we talked about our seasonal structure and stuff like that. But I'm really excited to join everybody and see everybody again on August 15th and start what I think will be a really, really amazing season. This has been a really amazing season too. And I'm so excited for the next one. So optimistic at the next one. So thanks everybody so much for listening to my story. And thanks everybody so much for sharing your story. It's been such a pleasure hearing from you. And that's it for me. If anybody has any comments you want to share before we wrap it up, then feel free. We can wrap it up whenever too. Thank you. Much appreciated. I don't know if anybody's talking. I see several people unmuted, but I don't hear anybody. So feel free if you don't want to say anything, but also I don't want to keep everybody too long too, and we're already a bit over time. So if you want to wrap it up now, we could wrap it up with like a 3, 2, 1, go optimism. Or if anybody had any last comments you want to share, then feel free to do so.
I do have a comment I'd like to share. If I may, I agree completely that it's an ongoing journey, and it's been a good starting place and a long way there. You know, like beyond the DAO, optimism isn't about delusion. It isn't about putting wool over the eyes in any way to say like I'm going to refuse to see what's difficult. Optimism is choosing the better out of what is, choosing what's best out of what is, to recognize what's good, just in general, right? For a realistic perspective. Optimism sometimes gets viewed as not realistic or somehow naive, but I actually would like to leave off, if I may, with a comment that optimism is the most realistic perspective. It's the most responsible and realistic perspective, because it understands like what is good in reality. It chooses to, it bends towards what's good. It chooses towards what's good. It favors that. So, right. It's not to deny what is bad. It's not. Optimism is to choose what is good. And that is what this choice has been.
Well said, Jason. Thanks so much. Wonderful note to end up the season and leave everybody to think about. I also want to maybe briefly apologize. I think I went more like 5 minutes like that. I know we had a timer and I went a bit over, but if anybody else had any last comments, then happy to hear it. Otherwise, we can wrap it up whenever everybody's ready. I guess we're ready. It sounds like it. Okay, cool. One last thing I want to say is just hope you'll join us for the Optimism Fractal Season 4 debut on August 15th. We'll be here at Thursdays and 7 UTC for our weekly events that we'll be resuming, as well as Optimism Town Hall too. Thanks everybody so much for being here, both today and in the season, and doing all that you're doing to help grow optimism. Will, I think there was something you were going to say there. Was there anything that you wanted to say?
Go Optimism Fractal!
Woo-hoo! Go optimism!
Go Optimism Fractal, and maybe we should do a 3, 2, 1. Maybe we should do a coordinated.
Okay.
Go. Yep.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Go
Optimism Fractal!
Optimism Fractal, yeah. Woo. All right. Thanks everybody so much, and looking forward to see you. Hope you have a wonderful summer break.
Sounds good.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.